Long ago, one of our brothers from across the sea was talking to one of our leaders, and he said, "You speak of your sovereignty. What do you mean by that?" He went into his lodge and he came out and he had in his hands corn. And he went like this. He said, "This is my sovereignty. If you're able to feed yourself, you're sovereign."
We work the whole circle of food sovereignty. We plant the food and we talk to the plant. When we harvest, we start out with our elders list. That's our first priority, to make sure they have healthy food. And then we go through the rest of the community. Everybody's children are all of our children, and everybody's elders, that's all of our elders. It's time. Food sovereignty is a must. It's the food that's going to save us, because it's the food that's always helped us to stay together, sustaining not just ourselves, but all of our people.
We're proving that money doesn't rule the world. It's food that rules the world. And that's why I got involved, Plus I like enjoying playing in the dirt. I'm always dirty, so. My dad has type 2 diabetes, which is, it's easier to control with food, but he still loves potatoes and starchy stuff, so it's hard to get him to like foods other than traditional foods.
We had to go back to our traditional foods because we weren't healthy without them. Our spirit wasn't healthy, our bodies aren't healthy. And we have to plant more. We have to get ready for these changes that are coming.
With climate change, and I heard a better term, climate chaos, because everyone's having a really hard time predicting what the season's going to be like, right? And if you have these land races that have made those adjustments over the millennia, that memory, I'll say, in them to make those adjustments. You'll hear other, maybe commercial farmers talk about yield in a field, bushels per acre, right? And they say, well, this hybrid or whatever it may be will produce X amount of bushels per acre. But they're nutritionally deficient. And so I don't think anyone has yet looked at these corns especially and figured out how much nutrition per acre. There has to be a way that we could get these fields, especially the cornfields, designated as sacred sites. If our fields somehow do get assaulted by a GMO or something, we'd have more of a protection as a sacred site.
I forget the other verses.
It's a very potent form of activism and prayer when we put seeds into the ground. When we turn to the very hopeful act of planting a seed, we sort of move towards a balance of choosing hope over fear. We choose to be a survivor instead of a victim. The seeds that I carry, it's a miracle that they're still alive. There were some seeds that were whittled down to just a tiny handful that were carried with families because of the displacement, the loss of land, the residential schools, the imposed shame, all of these implications of colonization. And our own cultural memory, our own remembrance, our own understanding of how to plant seeds was also the same way. Whittled down to just like little handfuls of memory, of knowledge, of an inkling of what was, you know.
They say that a lot of the families used to come together and plant, and it was a collective effort, and they would all help one another. So families from different clans would all come and gather on certain times and plant. My mother and even my father, they have these memories of this whole valley was cornfields, and this whole valley was food. When I see that land, I'm like, wow, like, how was that?
The seed bank is a living thing. It's not a vault to store things and leave it there and say, well, 20 years from now, people in the future, they'll have seed. They might have seed, but they may have totally no knowledge because you didn't live part of it. You're not making part of it alive. And if the seed has been here 30,000 years, it all happened without a seed bank.
It will carry on if we keep the seed trade going, keeping all our strains alive. In the event that our crop fails here, our seed will be alive in another area. A seed bank within ourselves. We are the seed banks.
Corn, the seed, needs that care just like a child, an infant. You know, needs that care to be able to grow strong and healthy, and that it becomes something that's gonna nurture us.
I equate the health of our communities with the health of our landscapes. Every time we have a precip action, we have whole hillsides, just eroding away. And you look at the health of our communities, we have lots of diabetics, lots of different types of illnesses. And so I say that we bring our people out here and start healing our landscape, and at the same time we start healing ourselves. We're talking about corn, we get up and we're using the corn to pray. A lot of the people in our communities, their first meal is a tole. Corn is a way of life for us. This is our seed bank.
It's a customary thing to come in and knock at the door and whatever spirits are around, just greet them that way. And that's how we feel about this place is, so many people come in here and, people's spirits are here in this building. And like I said before, a lot of people have come through here and helped put their hands on the mud, so, or on the seeds, helping clean the seeds. It's nice and warm up here, and down here it's nice and cool.
So this is all same like a adobe? And
yeah. Well, this one is those tire bells.
The tires.
Yeah, you can see how they sit on top of each other. The corn that you see that we've grown through the years. This is the blue corn. Hopi blue corn.